Mm-mm. Mm. Uh, okay, okay. Uh-huh. Don't blink. It's your boy, and welcome to the Computer Show. Because we're doing well, because we're having a wonderful day on this 15 September 2005. We woke up about 20 minutes ago. Tonight is the last day to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine is what we shall do. There I go. I'll stretch. The first thing we do, try to fix some files. Let's go. Season 3, episode 7. It's lagging a little bit. Okay, 1.5 times the speed. A nice multi-grain bar. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Mm. Mmm. And it was that nice. That was amazing. One. Ugh. We're almost done with the free upgrades. 5 token. Mmm. One. No. Nothing good. Good. Um. We'll see how it goes. DCIM screen recording. I got 2. DCIM. Pending. We'll do share it. It's gonna work well. We did a Oh, it works. in mental space. And ugh. I have time for another one. But only give us 2 episodes to review, which is not great. This is why what I. La la la.
No, we're going for extremely harsh. I'll turn it up. Yes. It's just, can't you just let him off with a warning? Sometimes being as tough as possible doesn't lead to the best outcome. This isn't Cagney calling Lacey a poopy head. I'm just gonna give him a timeout.
Three 34 is so long. So long.
Are you kidding? We'll be having these no doctor steps for a week.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Get out my head.
Okay. Oh my god. There's no trust. I don't care. What's gonna happen? No, no. Macy's. Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to our show. Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to our show. Hope you guys are doing well. So having a wonderful day on this glorious 16th September 2025. We woke up at about 2 hours ago. This is the first behind the scene of the day. Within an hour and a half to try to fix a file, which I didn't do, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I watched. So I got a couple of videos to do this morning, and that's pretty much it. So here we are as Victor Von Doom. I'm exhausted, but today is an important day, so let's get this started. Okay. Should I choose something? Dome Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Third Show. Meanwhile, on the 16th September 25, it is very early, sunrise. I thought I missed something, but we didn't. I checked outside and wow. Look what we got. The moon. Still very present. Look how nice this is. Incredible. Okay. Help me. I ain't got no brain. Dome Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to another commercial. First video of the day, of course, we have our breakfasts, which is going to be delightful. Some warm bread, some almost melted cheese, and some delicious sausage. Because I'm doing well on the 16th September 2025. As you can tell, this is the last day of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so we have a freaking day ahead of us. Woke up about an hour ago. Slept a bit too much, but you know what? The more we sleep before, the less we have to sleep after. I love bread and cheese. I love it. So, super simple today. Super simple. Today we'll be watching. This is the intro right away. We'll be watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine the whole day. We can video about it the whole day. We have 32 hours left to watch. I think today I'm going to be abusing the energy drink. If I feel so myself. I pretty much so. It's going to be super cool. Tomorrow I have my appointment with the government. Another one. So now we're seeing two governmental reps. One for the job, one for studies. That is pretty much my morning. So I got 2 videos to do. One of them is a feel good video, the other one is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We have a little problem. I'm supposed to wake up at 3. I didn't. With that, I didn't watch a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine videos. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Don't blink, it's Wayne. Welcome to the commentary. Because you want to having a wonderful day on this glorious 15th, 16th of September 2025. As you can tell, we're a bit sick. That's because we woke up not too long ago. So it'll get better during the day. Today, on the 16th of September, is a whole Brooklyn Nine-Nine day. It leaves Netflix tomorrow. But before that, I got a simple video. And that simple video is what we're doing right now. But it's not Brooklyn Nine-Nine related. It is also not dropping phone related. Can you believe that? Not phone related. Not dropping phone related, nor Brooklyn Nine. What could it be? And I have the lamp on, the flashlight on for obvious reason that I don't need to share with you guys. My apologies. I'm in a really good mood today because, again, I don't have that much time, but we're gonna do what we can. We're watching the sunrise, which is absolutely phenomenal, right? And I feel like this is important. I feel like this is really important because we're doing what we can and how we can. Cheese. So, I'm gonna do like a stuff in the back video. I love doing them. Sorry about eating. This is my breakfast, and it's super early. The sun hasn't rose yet. That's a word? I don't know. Yeah, very good video, bro. We had 2 hot dogs, cheese, and bread all cooked to perfection, which is great. So, you guys know that last week we had something happen to us that was very bad, which is we recorded for 11 hours, and because we recorded for 11 hours, we weren't able to have the video. The file broke, so we've been fixing it, right? It's kind of cool because I could have just given up, right? Right now we're broke right now. I'm not gonna be in the street, but we're broke. So because we're broke, I cannot go to somebody, a specialist. I cannot ask them, hey, can you help me out? We tried. The free one couldn't help us. So professionally, possibly, it is going to be a nightmare as well. So we have 2 good news. I have a tendency to wait until the very end to do things. For example, today, Brooklyn Nine-Nine finishes tomorrow. And the way that we're not going to be done, I can be done with season 4. That's about it. That's pretty much it. So, why is that important? It's really important because, in the same way, how can I say that? In the same way as a show is leaving Netflix, and this is work I could have done, but there's so many things I can do. I can eat bread, and that's a video, right? So all the Brooklyn Nine-Nine leave. I'm gonna finish it. This is a mistake that I did, right? Besides, I'll be completely honest. Today I'm gonna manage to finish season 5. And I'm pretty happy about it. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. So, because the easiest thing to do is just to delete the videos. And be like, you know what? I'm sorry. Not worth it. Not worth the effort. I have to clean the computer from the files. I have to boy oh boy, we have to work. We have a lot of work. At the same time, it's okay. Because it needs to be done, right? And it forces us to do in a couple things, and that's why we get itself back and back. Like for example, right now, the phone just rang that it's 15 gigs, right? However, we've been filming content for an hour. And that's not too bad. Now, with the filming, I'm not meaning camera because camera takes a lot of space. We're meaning screen recorder, which takes less space. But I still had to do an effort to really go in and free as much space as possible. It is such a nightmare. Did I have problem with the story before. Absolutely. Has it ever been this bad? No, it hasn't. That it's this bad. It's oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy in itself because, like, dude, this is not good. I can do possibly 2 hours of videos, and then the phone gets filled. Yesterday night I went to sleep, not because I was tired, but because we didn't have storage, right? And we tossed and turned, you know. So yeah, forcing ourselves to fix it ourselves, to fix our own issues ourselves. Even though it's not my fault, it's a coding error from the phone, it's an input problem from the phone. It's the only one on the floor that does it. So it sucks, but I'm gonna be able to fix it. And if I'm able to fix it, then if it happens again, I know how to fix it. I'm not good with computer. I'm not good when it comes to behind the scenes. I'm not good when it comes to OBS and setups, right? And I'm gonna do it. And the whole day today is reserved for that. The whole day today is to clean the computer, extract one file, upload that one file, do the same thing for another file. The one file that we're doing right now is 5 gigs, so that's not that bad. And the second file that we have to do is like 57 gigs, so that's gonna be taking a long ass time. But when it's done, it's done. And what I just realized is I need 100. But my computer is filled to the brim. I have like 11 gigs left of space out of 500, and I don't use it. I don't have game on it. I don't have. It's super weird because I don't know what's going on. So what I know is TikTok has a tendency to do cache, fill the cache. And we've been watching TikTok on the computer, so possibly a horrible mistake. But at the same time, it has to be fixable. It has to be fixable. I refuse to think that it's not. So, you know what? Standing up for ourselves, taking care of the problem, not asking for help. See, I'm not a guy. I'm not a guy that's gonna. It's so weird because I'm not a guy that's gonna ask for help. I don't like asking for help, and I don't like receiving help because I feel indebted after. However, there's things where I know I'm not gonna be able to, and I'll go ask for help right away. So either I'm stubborn and I refuse help, or I give up way too early and ask for help. There's always one of the two. And I don't think that's normal. But at the same time, hey, analyzing your strengths and flaws, it's part of the game also, right? I know these are things that I have to work on. And that is pretty much it, to be honest. So, working with limited resources, working with limited knowledge, the mother of invention is need, right? And we are in dire need right now, so I don't know what's gonna happen. However, I know that's gonna be a positive ending, and because it's gonna be a positive ending, I'm happy. So that's pretty much the video of this morning. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Ooh, it was. My apologies. I'm tired. Hey.
Next week is my 6-month anniversary with Davis.
Don't blink, it's your brain. Welcome to our show. The Moxa having a wonderful day on the 16th September 2025. Yes, 16, which means this is the last day to do some Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So today we got some great news. We are at season 3, episode 6, which means that it's not possible for me to finish the show. This is my fault. I made a mistake. I overestimated my ability to view it. I got only one video to myself. Okay. Little A. Little B. This is the last day, so I'm very nervous, but what I'll do is I'll watch as much as possible. And I'll do as much as possible. And you know what? It'll be a defeat, but we fought till the very end. And if you look at Lost, I knew that I had one to watch it, and that was the point. Well, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is gonna give me like that, right? So we have season 3, episode 6, the Green Class. So the Green Class is super cool. We have Jake trying to work on his landing, on his catchphrase. It's cool because Jake always going to see himself as this little guy who is a huge fan of He's a huge fan of police movie, and his whole life was always about being in one, right? Of course, we're watching the sunrise. I only have 3 videos to do today. I only have 3 episodes to do today, which is not a lot, but we'll watch them after. I'm exhausted, if you cannot tell. So Charles as his sidekick, which feels really bad because I do like Charles, but if it quacks and it walks like a duck, it's a duck. Charles, if it's helpful, and if it's simp, then it's a simp, right? But Charles sneak in some protein bar or whatever in Jake's pocket, and Jake eat it, and he had a bit of fudge. So it was a perfect landing, but the criminal was like, yo, you got some fudge on your cheek. So then landing miss, opening scene missed. Kind of a cool, what should I call it? I am exhausted. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. Did better. How would I was trying to be honest? Cool opening. Cool cold open. We got Terry, who's nervous again with the kids. And it sucks because Terry goes from being a great father to a guy who is overly stressed by being a father. So I'm not sure where they're going with this. I'm not sure where was the aim of this, the aim of this. But it ends as Jake and Charles are worried about him. So because they're worried about him, they're gonna take him to a retreat. The retreat's gonna be awesome to see. It's a good episode. It's not my favorite because so the truth is, it's hard to follow up the Halloween tree. Halloween tree was amazing. We got the Rosa and Marcus. We're breaking up. Rosa is time and time again not ready to move on, and this is also a problem because you make so much effort towards developing a character, but at the same time, what breaks up the relationship is what would have break up the relationship early on. So all that growth that we saw with her is completely meaningless because at the end, what happened is exactly that. You know, the first time that she see Marcus, she's like, "Oh, I'm not good with feeling." That's why she just bones, no emotions. But then with Marcus, she's like, "You know what? Let's give it a try," and then it doesn't work. Now the good thing is, Old is such a good cop because he sees it right away. Like, holy shit, dude, you're gonna break up with my nephew, right? And surprisingly, he takes the side of Rosa. I say Old and Rosa together are super funny because Old and Rosa together are super awkward and it's unpleasant because they're both so similar, right? And so Old goes in and he says, "How are you gonna let him down?" So she tells him, "Oh, I thought I edited the recording. To see the sun is rising nicely, so this is cool. This is really cool." So Old talked to his boyfriend Kevin about Gina's plan and Ed's plan, the plan they came up with to break up with Marcus. And Kevin calls them sociopaths. I don't remember if it's sociopath or psychopath, but one of the two.
Listen, not how I was. Captain Hope, boom, suck it wet.
I love this. I love this. Charles is trying to be a helpful thing, a helpful dude. Jake is just trying to be a good, good friend. But Charles is trying to be helpful. What's the difference? I think Charles has the captain interest in mind, and I think Jake has the captain in mind, which is completely different. We got oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. We got Amy and Gina going in, and Gina is so she's an icon, right? And if you talk about icon, you talk about iconic movie, and one of those iconic movie ends up being She's All That. So She's All That is a story about a teenager that wasn't that great looking, and then she gets a makeover. Because she gets a makeover, she becomes extremely good looking. So Amy wants to present a system that will make police life easier. Now I gotta say, there's a couple of things here that really makes me happy. The first thing that makes me happy is she's talking about this is insane too. This is insane. She's talking about the movie that she saw. Wow. So what it is a bucket. I'm gonna say bucket flashlight, but people would say, oh, it's a bucket flashlight. Which is not completely different. A shoulder flashlight. Oh, I gotta go bathroom. And we're back. Also, we're making some popcorn. So you possibly can't hear it, but listen. Popcorn. So, what is really cool here is she's talking about how her and her pocket light travel, right? And she mentioned Terabithia, she mentioned the Shire, which is all like, this is all book, right? Because it was the thing that she used to read in the night, right? Now, what is cool is a couple episodes later on, I think it's this episode. I'm out of breath. I'm out of shape also. Jake talks about the ends of Lord of the Ring. The Shire is from Lord of the Ring. So either the writer just saw Lord of the Ring, or Amy and Jake's, or bonding over some books called Lord of the Rings. And if it is, I'll be completely honest, I don't know if ants are present in the Hobbits. They possibly are in Silmarillion, because Silmarillion is just a complete book, and they're possibly in a Vash Tale of Numar, which is in Numarian. The sun is rising nicely, which is perfect because we're almost well, we're not almost on this stuff. So Gina goes in and she's like, "Are you trying to?" She's all Daphne, and what she wants is to Gina to give her a makeover. I'm gonna say make her over, build a bitch workshop, makeover, right? And because Gina will give her a makeover, she'll be more confident to present her products for the police to see, hey, do you want to invest that? This is kind of like a Dragon Den thing. So this is super cool.
So much. I'm talking kitchen. I'm talking cooking. I'm talking prison. Boy, what else am I talking? Wildflower cake, so we can make our own love. Nope, I was talking bonfires before, but that's my fault for growing.
I love this. We have a bonding trip between Jake, Terry, and Boyles, and now they're talking about their plan. And I gotta say, Terry looks he looks amazed. He looks like, holy shit, it's gonna be a fun time. So this works, right? But not really. So they realize the guy goes in and talks. Now this is a cool thing because this is the death buddy of Rosa. Remember in season 1, the guy that was unkempt, unclean. Well, this is the guy that we got for Rosa. So this is kind of funny. This is super funny. So basically what he says is this is not a good place. This is, I don't know why you're boring this cabin, because this is the worst of place, but hey, have fun. Look at this. Give me a sec. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Is that important? Listen to this. Let's go. This is good. This is to people that are not used to showing feeling, are not used to showing emotion, talking about how it's important to show emotion. So this really made me laugh. This is a really good plot. And this is smart. So they go fishing, which goes horribly wrong. They don't know how to fish, which Jake make him realize that he didn't bring anything. He didn't bring food, only fishing. Amy presented her product, but it doesn't work. And you realize that it kind of sucks because Gina goes in and she's like a natural, right? This is super nice. They go in and it's disastrous, right? However, they have alcohol, which is cheap alcohol, so it doesn't taste good. They found a fox body, but the fox body is decomposed, so this is not eatable. Terry says to Jake, like, yo, you didn't plan this through. I go on a vacation and you're making me work, and this is not cool. Which Jake, of course, feels bad. You have Charles who leaves to get some mushroom that he finds in a sinkhole. So then Terry and Jake are supposed to bond over the fact that they lost Charles. However, they don't make it out. They sleep in the same. They sleep in the same. Um, they sleep in the same hole, and they have to warm up with each other for war. They have to cuddle for heat, which is not ideal, of course. We got the product of Amy. And I'm gonna complain here. I'm gonna complain here. Look, this is the shoulder Nova. Look at the presentation of it. It's really similar to what it did with the police force. When it was a picture of Amy, it's really similar. The guy says, "I don't see a need for that product," and that sucks. The boys jump in the sinkhole, talks it over, and like, "Yo, this is how I feel. This is how I feel." And in there, I have to say, Terry is right. You know, he has a lot to do, and he doesn't know what he can do to take a break. He has like 1 hour per weekend, and he has a bubble bath, which is kind of cute because Terry is humongous, you know. Jake is able to get out of the place by being very smart and undoing all his clothes. However, it's not clear if he can take Charles because Charles' leg is cramped up, and Terry is humongous. Rhoda tells, "Oh, look, I broke up with Marcus, and it feels good." However, guess what happened? Guess what happened? Guess what happened? Rosa, by being compassionate towards Marcus, realized what emotion he was feeling and realized that she was feeling the same thing. So she was sad also, and she started crying, which is something she's not used to. And again, Gina, who talks to Amy, she's like, "You know what? Fuck these guys. I got a tenant in my building who is a little Amy Santiago, and she loved that product. And it really makes Amy happy, which is the goal here, is to make Amy happy, right? And I gotta say, Gina is sweet. Very sweet. Jake, Jake thing is, he said that Terry forgot to have fun. Like, I understand that you're stressed, but you would be less stressed if you had fun and forgot how to. So then, instead of buying food on the trip to go, the road trip, they bought fireworks, so they light up the fireworks, which is kind of cool scene. I would like to see the results, but we don't have the results. Season 3, episode 7, The Mattress. So this is also a good episode because this is the first problem in the relationship of Jake and Amy, and it has to be something as pointless as a mattress. Not my favorite episode, but out of the three, possibly the best one. This is super cool. The cold opening is Hitchcock founds a place and a news store that sells a mason jar with lemonade inside. Now, why they're cool is because the lemonade jar is in a mason jar and they just bought a fish. Hitchcock is cool, he just bought a fish. In a mason jar. So Jake is explaining how he wants to make a bet of what's gonna happen first. He's gonna drink the lemonade first or eat the fish first, but even before he's finished, the fish is already eaten. So this is kind of cool because it was a plan to have fun, and the plan was ruined because he wasn't quick enough. And that's your cold open. We have in a couple of storyline here that Rosa who has a this is super cool because I literally thought Sam was her little brother. So Rosa has a brother, she has a lot of siblings, right? And we don't know them. So when she introduced Sam, she said, "This is my little brother." I thought it was a little brother. However, there is a program in USA that's called a Big Brother. So what is a Big Brother is, and this is actually a very popular thing. Even a Canadian knows about it. So it's an older adult or a young adult. Who's gonna taking a kid or a teenager. They're gonna act like a Big Brother. They're gonna be taking care of you. They're gonna be giving you a tour. They're gonna take you fishing. They'll do activity with you, and it's supposed to be a mentorship thing. So it's not clear if Sam is the little brother in this case, or a real brother. Why is that clear? Because she refers to him as siblings. But then Rosa said, "I'm his big brother," and like she's a chick, so she wouldn't call herself big brother. She will be a big sister. However, this program is called Big Brother. That's where it kind of stopped making sense. You see, watching police show, I'm becoming a detective. So it's pretty cool. Rosa is super rude to Sam, but Sam is used to it because it's brotherly love and sisterly love. Terry's like, no, don't treat your brother like that. You're gonna end up being a bad apple because you treat him like shit, right? And this is really cool because at the end, this is possibly one of the best thing with Rosa and Terry. We got the next scene. They find a new drug, which is Taxi. They had a new drug, which kind of remind me of 22 Jump Street. And they new drugs, and this is the case for Jake and Amy to work together. Now, this moves along a little bit too, it's complex. It's complex. It moves along to the stakeout. So basically, Jake and Amy work together, and because they work together, things get complicated, things get uncomfortable. It's very reminiscent of what we saw with Jake and Charles. However, Jake and Charles are friends, while Jake and Amy is a relationship. Jake and Amy have to work things out for a relationship to work, versus a friend that you realize that you're too far from the friend. It's also continue. Like for example, I had a friend I was talking to every single day. We haven't talked in months because he wants to talk over streams, but I don't stream anymore. Well, I do stream, but not right now. So that's pretty much it. And we just lost touch. I feel so in touch. Oh, we have another one. I got another one. And Gina's the queen in this one. So we got Charles. And you know what? I have to say, in season 3, I feel like Gina is much more involved. And this is cool. This is cool. This is really cool. I feel like what happened, okay, so this is my theory, right? I feel like what happened is season 2 had more oaths in it than other characters. Because people liked oaths. Now I feel like they did the same thing with Gina. People like Gina. You have to understand, and this is, I'm sorry to say, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure, the most popular person on the show was Andy Samberg. Yeah. No doubt. So, a bunch of people that were less known got to shine through the show, so this is kind of cool. To give you more Gina, so what happened here is Charles is in the parking spot, which is super happy, and the captain parks his car, he parks his car in the space of Charles. So because of that, there's an accident that happened, Charles is stuck and no space to leave, so when he leaves, he scratches the car of the captain, which made the captain realize, like, listen, yo, this is not good. You parked your car because the one at fault here is Alt. Alt takes 2 spaces. However, Charles discarded his car. So this is super cool. And at the end, there's a really cool scene where Alt says, you know what? It was my bad. I'm sorry. We got Amy and Jake. We're funny because Amy is saying, and this is actually a really nice thing. Amy is fighting against a mattress, and I gotta say, things like that would have bothered me because I'm like, dude, this is a stupid plot. The mattress here is insanely smart. So they've been dating, and now they said I don't know for how long they've been dating, but they've been dating for a while. And Amy's talking about Jake about how his mattress is not good, right? And Jake is able to pay sacrifices because, he doesn't care. But with Amy being there, he's not making the effort to make her feel comfortable, which doesn't make her feel wanted. Because he's not making her feel wanted, she wonders if serious about the relationship because he's not willing to make sacrifices for her. So the mattress is a image for a commitment, which is super cool. Super cool. Super nice. Jake has a disguise where pretend like he's a guy that's doing survey for environment. Why is this cool? Why is this insanely cool? Well, because it just goes to show how it's like a mockery. It's like a sarcasm. Like nobody cares. He's looking at people and people are not even looking at him. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool, to be honest. Rose gets really pissed because her little brother Sam stole a phone. Now this is greatly written because it shows that Rosa is, at first, she's rough with him. When he does a crime, she's like, okay, well, you fucked up. And this is also a part that makes me think because they're not related. So when she said, you're done to me, you're a criminal, your criminals come. I'm like, dude, this is a bit rough. And I know Rosa is rough, but still. But then if it's not a real brother and she's the guy that she's been mentoring, it's it's not related to blood. Um, so yeah. So Terry is telling her like, chill, yo, this is not cool. Gina says she's gonna help Charles, and they show this is super cool. This is super cool because Charles has to go in, and what do you call it? Charles goes in and he has to like say sorry because he crashed the car paint. At the same time, Captain Old is behind. Amy and Jake go mattress hunting. Best scene is when they're jumping from mattress to mattress, which is super cool. There's this guy called Brian, which is a salesman, and he's supposed to be like a spiritual guide because he says, "I want you to be happy. I want you to be okay. If you need something there, I got you." But Jake's like, no, you're overstepping, Brian, which is super fucking funny. Amy and Jake gets into more of a fight, which is kind of shitty, but still. Old tells Amy, and this is bad because this is the first time I'm gonna have a real complaint about the show. Old asked Jake, "Hey, are you two doing okay? Because I hear you screaming, right?" And Jake and Amy pretend like everything is okay. This is boring because they did the same thing with Charles, and it was like a season ago. It was season 2, episode 8. So this is pretty boring, and this is season 3, episode 7. So kind of similar too. But they prove that they're together and they can work it out. Terry does the best thing, which is inviting the dance teacher of Rosa. Now this is a really, really cool thing because we know Rosa took dance lesson. So why is that cool? Because it's just the details. Oh. I gotta make something. It's not, we're not in trouble, but still. Oh, that's cool. when I came to film, I had 77 minutes that I had to film. 77 minutes, right? Again, I'm gonna say it once more. 77 minutes. And now I'm being told that I no longer have 57 minutes, but I have 87 minutes. So instead of uploading, we didn't upload, we did the opposite. That's good. So before I go, was there something I could have done to make your heart feel better? Stormy weather, go. However, we have it on space today, so we're good. Into my TikTok to see if I became famous yet. No, but close. So before you go, was there something I could have done to make your heart feel better? There you go. So I also have to take this one and try to, because I'm not gonna have enough storage for both. So we remember from season 1 that Rosa used to do ballet. So Terry finds her old coach. However, her old coach was disastrous. She was as mean to Rosa that Rosa is mean to Sam, which is her little brother. Gina goes in and she says, "You know what? I'm gonna teach Captain Old a lesson." What she does is she put the cupcake on his seat, and then Captain Old sit his ass on his seat, and he gets in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but he's like, "Okay, well, he sit on it and said, what is the cupcake doing there? Oh, you tell me that it wasn't supposed to be there, like your car wasn't supposed to be there." And then it's an allusion to make him realize that he was wrong with Charles, and Charles was in the right. He put something where it doesn't belong, and then there's an accident, and it's because he put something where it doesn't belong. That's simple, which I did like. I did appreciate the little bit of the cool thing that we have here. Amy and Jake are doing a stakeout in a hotel room where they see that the bed is very comfortable and like things could work out. So this is kind of cool. However, they're fighting, and because they're fighting, the bird next door hears them and sees the camera, which gets Old and Amy in super trouble because they're fighting. But Old sees this, he understands Jake's, which is again more of a Old is a very good character because he reacts differently with people. So with Jake, he realized that he has to treat him like a kid, right? And he has to explain things. So for example, he says, "You know what this card is so important to me? Again, this is the car we introduced this episode. I said the car is very important to me because when we were young, me and Kevin didn't have a lot of money, right? Until we started having a good job, and I didn't want to buy the car because we lived far. And because I didn't want to buy the car, the relationship wasn't doing well. However, one morning Kevin came at my door and knocked and said, "Hey, I bought a car for me to see you." And all said the biggest regret that I have is not buying the car first. And it speaks to Jake, which is super cool because so that's pretty much the scene. Alton talks to Charles, and Charles, he said, "Hey, don't worry, the car looks good right now." Charles goes to pay him, and he cancels the check. He's like, "No, it's my fault, you're good." And then Gina says, "You owe me so much for the cupcake," which is pretty fucking funny.
I think I was just scared that you were going to realize you're way better than me. Like, you're Orangina and I'm Orange Soda.
Are you kidding? You're Orangina?
Ugh.
I love this. I love this. I love this. Jake's apologized, and he tells Amy why he didn't feel like buying a mattress, and because he didn't believe that he was worth it for her. She's much better than him. She could have found better than him. Buying a mattress would have just been the expenses for her to leave for a better guy, which is pretty sad. Next episode, we have season 3, episode 8. We have Ava, which is super cool. We have this is super cool. This is a Thanksgiving special. Without being Thanksgiving. So basically what they have is they have recaps. So the Thanksgiving they had the iced, which I do like think about. Oh, by the way, to finish with Rosa realized that her dance ballet was a good teacher, but she was a shitty human being. And Rosa here doesn't want to be a shitty human being. She wants to be a good teacher, but she also wants to be a good human being. That's why she chilled with Sam. So that's pretty much it. So next episode we have Charles coming in with Gobble Gobble, which is his Thanksgiving special thing to say. However, there's a couple that they're here to see Charles about what happened to their grandma, which is horrible. And Charles, if they constantly say something horrible happened to their grandma, which is super, super, super nice. So we have a. I'm gonna finish it so that I'm gonna skip a little bit. We have the episode, which is basically this is super cool because this is Charles and Amy, and you just realize that Charles and Amy, this is the first episode they have together. I'm gonna go back from. I'll be right back. Sorry guys. Bathroom break. Okay. Sorry guys, bathroom break. And my phone was too hot. Too hot. Was gonna check if it's still uploading. Yes it is. Good. Not fast, but somewhat fast. So this is a really cool scene between Amy and Charles because the whole time people are saying you and Charles are the exact same person to Amy. You're just the feminine version of him. It's a cool thing because they work together, but it's weird because Amy says things like, I'm so attracted to you. Dude, you're dating the best friends. You know? A bit odd, you see? The magic of television. Went to the bathroom. Had time to cool down. So, very weird. So yeah, so they work together, it's super cool. Gina and Terry tell Jake that since he's possibly the father, has to keep Olt from Sharon because he really likes Sharon, but he isn't the best at talking to her because he makes her nervous because he says things like you're like a truck, which is funny to me, and you know what he means like in a good way, but it doesn't sound like a good way. So the job is to keep Olt far from him. Sharon is nervous because the precinct is full of people. This is super cool because she breaks the water while Terry is away on Rikers Island. Fun thing is, Terry is with Rosa, and Rosa will get him out of the island pretty quickly. It's a really cool scene of motorcycle, which I did like. And the water broke, so she tells Terry to come over. Who is in here is Jake. Now, here's the bad part. Jake has to tell, Old, listen, dude, you make her nervous. I'm not supposed to let you in there. So Old is feeling hurt. Okay, well, I'm not gonna help you. However, Old's ex, which was Dave, which is Ron Swanson from Parks and Recs, fun thing, is a doctor, so he could have been able to help her, but he hasn't because him and Old's relationship was a disaster. It didn't shake hands, let's just say. Jake is telling Charles and Amy to hurry up because I don't know. I don't know this makes me laugh because they both submissive or at least subservient toward Jake's, and Jake seems like a leader that wouldn't abuse the power, but now he abuses power, so to me this is funny. Next we have most of this done.
I'm sorry, this woman is having non-vaginal contractions. Everyone out, please.
Jake is telling people that, hey, there's a pregnant woman here and I need your cooperation. We weren't super down because most people that are there to see loved one behind bars and shit like that, you know? So this is actually pretty cool. Rosa has the bicycle scene, which is really nice.
Last resolution I gave you one.
Sully, how did you have to set the one internet faxing?
Really think you still work?
We get a tube system, which is the explanation, which is really cool because this takes us to the story of the New York, which I don't know. Which was New York. We have Dave. Charles asks O for help, and Dave is super funny. O literally has to say sorry.
Wow. Well, I know what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving.
Literally says sorry to Dave, which is funny because he said sorry to two people. He said sorry to Madeline. He said sorry to Dave, and those are two people that he does not like. You're still recording. Good. So I really like we're almost done. This is not the greatest episode. Not the greatest, but it's actually pretty good. So they have the baby, everything is okay. Old says sorry. He says being with Dave. They made me realize that I was emotional with you and I'm sorry for being emotional. And Jake's like, no problem, don't worry. Which is super cool. Jake is chosen to be the first to the baby, and they named her Ava, which is super cool because it's the name of the episode. That, my friends, sums it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wish you a very 9 day. I'm gonna go sleep a little bit because I'm exhausted, and then we'll come back in about 2 to 4 hours. That's a large gap, 2 to 4 hours, and I'll do some more. Love you guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Always. Peace. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna call my father, because that would be important.
Look, for every broken Yu-Gi-Oh! Boss monster out there, there has to be at least 10 that are a complete failure. Either because they were too broken in the anime and had to get nerfed, or because Konami thought they would be cool but are way too difficult to utilize. The Assault Mode monsters just aren't worth playing for what.
When you're at home, can you run?
Anybody can touch this.
Yeah. Everybody's using this song. What is that?
Listen up.
What? Oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Oui. Oh, oui. What? Oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Oui. Oh, oui.
Need a little buffer before.
Yes, you work on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Trying to sleep a little bit. Laser cash instead. Laser cash instead. Cause why not?
No, it's that stuff's positive, and there's other stuff that's positive behind the scenes, but the fact that I might.
got compressed to the size of an ant, you might think you would collapse into a black hole. But in this size, you would be so dense that even a normal movement might disrupt everything around you. However, if you shrank 10,000 times further, you would be about the size of a bacterium. Shrink another 10,000 times, and you'd reach atomic scales. Finally, if you continued scaling down by an additional factor of 10 to the 15th power, you would reach your Schwarzschild radius, effectively becoming a black hole. If you got compressed to the size of an ant, you...
Miami. Today is Tuesday. My apologies. Not 100K. I think. We had a lot this one. Okay. Oh. The comfiest of bed. Oh my god. Such a comfy bed. Okay. So gonna go sleep. Or at least try. Good night, Resistance. Good night, Sword. Good night, Shield. Good night, Crown.